This is an HDMI cable with standard HDMI connectors at both ends. This is one end you are seeing now and the other end. That's also HDMI connector. There could be cables with HDMI connector on one end and a different connector on the other end. HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface. It is the global standard for transmitting uncompressed digital video and multi-channel audio through a single cable. Since its debut in 2002, it has replaced older analog standards like VGA and component video. Component video is an analog video signal that has been split into two or more component channels. HDMI uses TMDS, meaning Transition Minimized Differential Signaling, to protect data from interference over long distances. It also uses High Bandwidth Digital Content Protection (HDCP), a digital handshake that prevents unauthorized devices from intercepting or copying the content. There are different types of HDMI connectors. While they all carry the same type of signal, the physical shape varies depending on the device. The standard Type A connector, which was shown initially, is meant for TVs, gaming consoles, monitors and laptops. Then there is Type C, which is mini HDMI for DSLR cameras, camcorders and larger tablets. Type D or micro HDMI is for action cameras, smartphones and ultra thin laptops. I have seen that on Raspberry Pi 5 also. I will show that cable later. Type E is automotive for built-in car entertainment systems and has a locking tab. This is a micro HDMI to HDMI cable which I use to connect Raspberry Pi 5 to standard HDMI monitor. That end is micro HDMI and this end is standard HDMI. There is a cap there which has to be removed. Remove the protective caps and this is the HDMI end. This is the micro HDMI end. Now it has been connected to the HDMI, one of the two. There are two HDMI ports, HDMI 0 and HDMI 1. It has been connected to the HDMI 1 port of Raspberry Pi 5. This is Raspberry Pi 5. You can see the name over there, Raspberry Pi 5. The name of the HDMI port is also seen there. It is HDMI 1. The other one is HDMI 0. So it has been connected. Now the other end, this is the standard HDMI end, can be connected to an HDMI cable which will go to the monitor. I have connected the other end of the adapter cable to HDMI cable of the monitor. The version like 2.0 or 2.1 determines how much data the cable can handle. Modern cables are backward compatible, meaning a new cable will work with an old TV, but you only get the features that both devices support. Version 1.4 has maximum resolution 4K at 30 Hz. Bandwidth is 10.2 Gbps. It supports 3D video and Ethernet. 2.0 has maximum resolution 4K at 60 Hz and 18 Gbps bandwidth. It has HDR static and 32 audio channels. Version 2.1 has a maximum resolution of 8K at 60 Hz and 4K at 120 Hz and bandwidth 48 Gbps. Key features are dynamic HDR, eARC and VRR for gaming. HDR stands for High Dynamic Range, a technology that expands the range of brightness, contrast, and colors in images and videos, making them more lifelike with richer details in both bright highlights and dark shadows. Unlike static dynamic range or SDR, the static HDR refers to it using fixed metadata for the entire movie or show, contrasting with dynamic HDR that adjusts settings scene by scene. EARC, Enhanced Audio Return Channel, and VRR, Variable Refresh Rate, are key HDMI 2.1 features. EARC delivers high bandwidth uncompressed audio from TV to sound system, improving sound quality and simplifying setup, while VRR syncs the display's refresh rate with the source's frame rate, eliminating screen tearing for smoother gaming. EARC allows your TV to send audio back to a soundbar through the same cable, eliminating the need for an extra optical cable. EARC, found in HDMI 2.1, supports lossless formats like Dolby Atmos. Consumer electronics control allows one remote control to control multiple devices. For example, turning on your PlayStation can automatically turn on your TV and switch it to the right input. Some cables include a dedicated data channel for sharing an internet connection between devices, though this is rarely used in consumer electronics. Here are some quick buying tips. Don't just look for 2.1, look for the official certification labels like Premium High Speed for 4K 60Hz or Ultra High Speed for 8K 120Hz. Standard copper HDMI cables lose signal quality after about 15 feet, that is 5 meters. For longer runs, like a projector across a room, look for active HDMI or fiber optic HDMI cables. While gold-plated connectors resist corrosion better, they do not improve the digital picture or sound quality over standard connectors.